This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.
You're the first guest that I wanted to show up in the fucking podcast, but it never fucking panned out that way.
Well, yeah. You talked about the podcast when we were doing previously a different program.
Yeah.
Okay, and I was supposed to be the first one.
Yeah.
Then Corona happened,
Yeah.
and that's where it all got messed up. Okay? And I was stuck in Pokhara, and I couldn't come back. So, but I'm here.
I'm fucking happy, man. I
I'm
love
here.
you. I
Yeah.
love you to fucking death. All
Cheers,
right,
brother.
cheers. We're gonna do
Cheers,
cheers.
cheers.
I love you to fucking death.
Thank you.
I've said this so many times to you. You are my big brother. You're fucking. I love you.
Thank you very much.
People don't know this. I've said this before on the podcast. People don't know this, but you're the only human that I've actually slept with on a tent.
That's true. Oh my God, I remember that. Yeah.
But that was Solakumbu.
Yeah.
Man, I'll never forget that. We're up in Solakumbu, and then
The toilet was the hardest part because you had to get up early in the morning. I know. Luki te jang khudnu padne. And then once you found the jang, you do your business, and then you kind of stand up, go back like nothing's happened. Yeah, I remember that.
we're all filming Pulsar Adventure. This is which season was this? 4? No, 2, 3.
We've done them all.
I don't know which one.
Except for
season 1. I didn't do season 1.
Yeah.
We were up in Solakumbu. The weirdest thing was, remember when we were coming back from Solakumbu, and then because of the landslide, we had to sleep in the middle of the
Bridge. Yeah.
Was it a bridge?
It was a bridge in front of us.
Oh,
and
yeah?
we slept on the side, and they put up all the tents, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember that.
Oh yeah. I remember that because that was the best. In the morning, that was the best poop of my life because I did it right next to the beach.
That was the thing. I know, every morning, did you do your business? Don't go to that side. There's people on that side. Go to the other side, right? So it was kind of like that.
Oh man, when you think about it, the things that we've done. Oh my God.
But we've had a history, right? I've seen the history, form for you too. I know, since when you were a VJ or DJ or whatever, at disc jockey and working. So we've kind of grown up in the same industry. Yeah. Back then, we were just starting as Robin and Luza.
Yeah.
I know the band. You would interview us for musical programs, and I would see you in the radio. So we've seen our history, develop as we've lived our lives. I know. We have a connection.
Yeah.
I know. And it's not just you. There's certain other people that started at the same point and now have gone on to do bigger, better things. I know. And that's a part of life, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to share it with you and with everybody else that I've met along the way. That's what makes me me.
100%, no doubt on that. You want to pull up that picture? Pull out that picture of Robin and me from 2000 and I don't even know 9. I can't even remember.
Let me see the picture.
It
must be when I had my hair dyed black.
Yeah. The hair is black, right?
Yeah.
Find that picture from a set. Okay, purana photos ani. Betis. All right, Mr. X is doing his X shit. That picture that everybody saw was from our shoot for Pulsar Adventure. We had to do some crazy fucking shoot, though. Remember there was one time when we had to do at Rajbhai Dai's Rajbhai Silwal studio. Remember when we were all like yelling? We had to yell at each other and then laughing our asses off.
Yeah, that's because they already had the poster, right? They just wanted our faces in there.
I'll never forget that. And then, remember the time in Ladakh when, man, there's so many memories in Ladakh. Ladakh is the freshest one that I have.
I mean, Ladakh was a big adventure, right? It wasn't like we were in our home turf. We were in somebody else's turf. We'd crossed the border to India, and we were going into uncharted territory, right? And not only that, but it was high altitude, as you remember.
Yeah.
The contestants falling off their bike because lack of oxygen. Yeah. And, of course, the chili game that we did.
I'll never forget that.
Poor guys didn't feel the same afterwards for the whole ride. Yeah, I know. They had to consume so many chilies. Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it.
There was one moment which I'll never forget. Was it the Manali courtyard? No, in Manali, right? Is it Manali where we had to do in the middle of the center of the street to
Yes.
Manali and do.
One of the tasks was that they had to go introduce Nepal to the rest of the community.
Oh yeah. That task. When you think about it, right? You've had a super interesting life.
Yeah,
Super interesting life.
Very fortunate. I know. I'm fortunate by a life, so not everybody gets that kind of opportunity to live that lifestyle. Yeah. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful to my parents. I'm thankful to friends that interacted with me. So, but at the end of the day, mo Nepal ma ayan. Nepal my famous friend.
Morgan Freeman. I remember when we were sitting downstairs at the cafe. I was telling you, Anthony. Morgan Freeman started his career in his fucking 50s or 60s, somewhere along that line.
Actually, I think he started before that, but he didn't get recognized until
40s, 50s. When he was 40, when he was, I think when he was in his 50s.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're Bollywood now.
I wouldn't know about that, but yeah. Bollywood's a whole different ballgame. It's not like the film industry here, because when I worked for The Last Hour, the professionalism, the production, it was just in a very grand scale. Yeah. And let's see what happens.
Let's tell everybody a little bit about, I don't know if a lot of people know this or not, but let's tell everybody a little bit about The Last Hour.
Okay, it's a supernatural thriller. Basically, good and evil. Okay? There's the evil sorcerer, Zakri, and there's the bad Zakri. The good Zakri helps out a detective in a crime scene. And I get involved because there's a history between me, the bad Zakri, and the good Zakri, right? So for the rest of the story, you'll have to watch the episode. It was fun doing it. It was an opportunity, and the time was right. And actually, I told you about this project.
I know this whole. I know the whole story
because you were with me, right? We were on Pulsar Nepal shoot.
My favorite part was the bodyguard.
So they picked me up, gave me an opportunity, and I'm very fortunate now that I'm getting other offers from Bollywood. Okay.
Yeah. How does it work? How does Bollywood work?
I have no idea. I only did one series. This is second series, inshallah. But I mean, it's very particular. Yeah, stars are stars. Extras are extras. The soundman's a soundman. Production is production, and there's a chain of command. So it's set up more like a corporation, a production house, right? Where on set there's about 550 people.
What?
Yeah, with 2 truckloads of wardrobe. And we all get our own little vanities, right?
Yeah, I've heard about this.
With my name tag on it, and no one goes in there, and when they're ready to shoot, they come with an escort and they say, "Sir, we're ready for you." And they take me to the set, right? And I go down, do my thing, and then boom, I'm back in my caravan. And it's cool, and then there's food all laid out. It's a 5-star treatment. But at the same time, it's authentic. The scene itself, the set in itself is so well done that it actually looks like you're in a dark cave somewhere when you're not actually in a cave. You know what I mean? So professionalism was just out of this world. But at the same time, this is what it should be. This is how they work, right? It's only in Nepal the actor's sitting on the floor eating dal bhat with his hand. It's like, okay, we're ready to shoot. You finished? Can you wash up? Right. But we're still in our infancy, and we don't have the production value that like they do. I mean, the series I did was for Amazon Prime, so we had Amazon behind us, and hopefully we'll get the second season, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Well, the other offers. What kind of offers are you getting now?
Boy, I'm stereotyped, right?
The Gunda.
Yes, I get the Gunda. But it's always, but you're the main principal Gunda, right?
You're the big dog Gunda.
So I'm just kind of holding out. I just want to take some space and breathe. This episode, this series just came out on Amazon in February. So, and I've also got the second season to look forward to if it happens. So I'm in no hurry. right? I'm going to pick and choose because you actually have to put yourself out there, because it's half the time it might be fun, but when you're on set, it's work, you know what I mean? And you have to be spot on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you delay the whole crew, and we're looking at 150 people behind you. Or if you miss a scene or the weather is bad, then this big budget goes unaccounted for. I know, without any production.
Yeah.
So having said that, I enjoy it, and if I get more offers and there's a problem with me. I don't speak Hindi. Hindi बोल्दिनँ त्यस कारण मैले त्यो सिनहरु गर्दाखेरि I really have to take on a tutor and learn the whole words, not just the words, but what they mean, so I can relate to that physically. So I'm just waiting to get the right scene. And as you know, अहिले सबैले Hindi series-हरु पनि English-मा पनि गर्नु थालेको छ, so hopefully I'll get one of those opportunities.
Yeah.
If not, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I'm in no rush. I'm happy where I am. I know. I'm in no rush.
You just came back from Pokhara.
I just came back. I go back and forth from Pokhara. Life is good, but it's because I'm fortunate.
Yeah. Think about it. Yeah. Well, you've worked hard for it. You've worked really hard for it.
Yeah.
Nothing came easy.
Yeah,
Nothing's easy.
No. We started from nothing. I mean, my history is, as you know, I came here in 96. Here I am at the age of 35, totally new, don't know nothing. And within that time till now, I kind of built up my own reputation and my career in music or in acting or having a restaurant, whatever it may be. And right now, I could truly say I was very fortunate. Very fortunate because not everybody can make it, but at the same time, pure definition of making it. I know. Some people are never too happy. They want more. They want to go to Bollywood. They want to be a star.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, some people are very opportunist. Me, I'm happy where I am, and I'm very fortunate. I get jobs, and I get paid for it, and I'm content so far. I know.
Yeah. We were talking about things during the shoot, during the Pulsar Adventure shoot. We were talking about thousands of things, but there are a couple of things that means a lot to me because with 10, 12 years, with good solid 12 years of experience talking with people in front of the microphone, that kind of changes you. That kind of moves you a lot as well. The energy.
I mean, as a professional, it's your barrier. I know.
Oh.
You have that barrier. As soon as they say, okay, you're on set, it's like, boom, you go into that mode, that moment, where it's you as an entertainer. And then there's a personal side too.
Yeah.
Right? But you have to put that up. You can't expose yourself thoroughly. I know. Global professionalism doesn't demand that. It demands you to be an MC or a host. I know. So you have to play that part.
Yeah, got to play that part. I've missed it. I've missed it a lot. I've talked about this before. I miss events. And when we were on there as well, we were talking about concerts and we were talking about things and we were talking about a lot of things. And one thing that you said was they don't do concerts anymore. I remember you telling me, Shivaratri, man, I don't know where I'm going to play now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And back in the day, you were booked 1 year in advance for Shivaratri.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
That's true. I think, to tell you the truth, I don't like to blame it, but I do blame it on social media. I know. You want to listen to somebody, you just go on social media, you listen to them. I know you want total access, you have total access. I don't know. You don't need to do concerts to be famous. You can just make your own little video in your room and play your guitar. Next thing you know, there's millions and millions of people looking at you, and you're instantly famous without having to put the time and effort. See, my journey is the old school. You play in bars for 14 years. You get drunk. You feel the pain. You move your equipment around. You worry about how you're going to pay for the taxi fare to get your equipment. And then when you do get paid, you realize you've spent more than what you got paid. Right? That's what we did. Basically, so my band members and I know the people I associate as musicians, they put in their time. They didn't become instantly famous. Yeah. So there are musicians that in the Nepali scene, उनीहरू फेमसै छैन, तर within the music circle, musician circle, to us, they're famous, because they're a great guitar player or a great drummer. You don't necessarily have to be a front man. I know in the music industry, everybody knows who's who, what the talent is. So which is a good thing. I know. But I'm still here.
Yeah, no. When we go back in the, I don't know, 100 years from now, when we look back at the fucking history books.
100 years.
No, let's give it. We're not going to be here. We're gone. We're fucking finished. But in 100 years, when people look back at.
People can go on internet and check out, Sanjay. Right? There's this little hosting all these programs, and we're forever immortalized, bro.
Forever. And you are going to be right at the top of that mountain.
I hope so.
You're going to be right at the top of that mountain.
There's going to be a lot of people I know that are going to be there. I know.
No doubt. No doubt. And then we're also going to be like, oh, the man who made it to Bollywood.
Yeah, but he didn't speak Hindi.
What are your lines, though? What kind of lines do you have to say?
Don't ask me, brother.
No, I'm not asking you to say lines. Is it everything in Hindi?
Yeah, everything was in Hindi. But it was such a character. The character was a Northeast Indian character. So as you realize, in Northeast, they're not all Indians, right?
Yeah.
You have the Naga people, you have Nepali people, you have all these ethnic groups that speak Hindi, but they have a different accent. So we went on that kind of assumption. So even if I messed up the Hindi, it was acceptable because the character was from Northeast India, right? And he was a shaman. Right.
You cannot play Deadly Godon.
Well, I've had offers for Deadly Godon, right? And I said, "Where's this character from?" He said, "Rajasthan." I said, "I can't do that guy, man. I definitely can't do that guy."
Put a turban on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a camel on you. Put you on top of a camel. No. Oh man, when I think about it. No, but one thing is when you make it to Bollywood, you make it to Hollywood too. That step is there too. You never know.
Sanjay, I never actually went into this thing thinking I was going to make it. Yeah. I was just hoping, it'd be an outlet for me as far as creativity. And if I got paid for doing it, so much the better. But I have had the opportunities. Whether I will pursue it or not, I don't know. I'm quite happy where I am. You know what I mean? But yeah, if it's an interesting character where I don't have to play a daku anymore, you know what I mean? Where I don't have to play a gangster or some evil character, I think that would be totally different. I'd like to do a comedy and see how that works.
That's going to be fun, right? Because I know you, and you are, well, all right, let me say this. You're exactly opposite of how you come out of, your looks, everything. You're completely opposite.
Yeah, but having
you're
said
a teddy bear
that,
inside.
Yeah, but having said that, why do you think I'm getting these parts? It's because of my looks. Right? It's like, oh, don't speak too much. Just stand there. Right? Yeah, but you're the main character. Right?
The main gunda.
Yeah, you're the main gunda. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? I'm stereotyped, right? So I love the action. I love the hardcore, violence. But at times, you as an actor, I think it'd be more challenging to do something exactly opposite, where there's some depth into some characters and stuff. So let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, I'm just thinking, what kind of movie?
Hey, you're a movie star.
I want movies too. I'm the chocolate boy, man. I'm the lover boy. Yeah. Holy shit! I can't imagine doing a lover boy thing one more time again in my life. I don't think so. Well, I definitely want to do movies. I want to do small things, movies, TV series. I don't know, whatever. Even Bumpy was saying that the other day. Yeah. But I definitely want to do something fun. Maybe have a like a conversational kind of thing would be really nice, rather than just dancing around the trees.
Yeah.
That would be really nice. And now I think with Netflix and with Amazon and with all these other guys,
a lot of scope right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know how many Nepali production companies apply for it, but I know the Indians and in India, they're taking full advantage, and people are being creative. I mean, and some of the series apparently are pretty good, right?
नेपालमा आए छैन के दाइ. That's the only thing. That's the only thing because were we talking about this earlier? Yeah, we were talking about this earlier where I told you where the passport stands, right? On the day of this recording, 2021, the world's best passport in the world is Japan, and then the world's best passport is Singapore, number 2. And then right at the bottom is Afghanistan. Then we've got Iraq. Then there's, I believe, there's Yemen or Pakistan, and then there's Nepal. I know.
Yeah.
You know the reason why that is. It's not that we're poor or things like that. It's just because we haven't created diplomatic relationships properly. You know, in Nepal it says kutnitik to relationship or बनाउन सकेन हामीले. And if you make better relations, I was reading up on UAE and China, and UAE went way up in that ranking because they made better relationships.
Right.
So if we spend more time and make better relationships, things are going to get better. You know, same thing with Netflix and Spotify and all these other international YouTube and all these other crazy international platforms. They're not here. That's why we cannot make content for them because they're not even registered here. You know?
I don't know, Sanjay. I think, first of all, I mean, if we're going to get into this whole box of worms, we need a civil society where rules and regulations are accepted, right? Where the norm, where, you know, people respect each other. I don't think we have that, right? Corruption is a big major problem in our economy, right? So that says something to me. It's like, do you trust this country? Yeah. So unless things get a little better here and we clean up house here, I think we'll always be in the bottom 5 as far as the passports are concerned.
You were really angry, right? You posted something and then you were really pissed off. And then Routine of Nepal Banda picked it up. Everybody picked it up. What happened here? What were you thinking?
It was just a thought, you know, and everybody was talking about the next election and so forth. And I said, well, next election, yeah, fine. But who are the candidates, right? Yeah. It's the same candidates that were there before the insurgency, after the insurgency. And I don't know how people feel about it, but I feel nothing's really changed here. You know, after 18,000 Nepalis were sacrificed for the so-called freedom, right? Nothing's really changed. And I think people are getting frustrated now. And so elections are coming up, right? And who are you going to vote for? I didn't see any new candidates. I suggested someone, not because because of his politics. I suggested him because of his administrative skill, where he took one department, a ministry of one of our, let's call it the electricity, right? And he kind of made it work and made it into a profitable entity, right? And if you could bring someone like that without playing politics, just to administer the things that we have in Nepal, I think we can do a lot better. And most of it is just administrative know-how, and most people don't realize how to run an administration, right? Yeah. You know, we have Nepali politicians giving speeches where, you know, carbon dioxide is the product, and that's the Ministry of Environment. Right? So I question whether there are right people in the right places, right? And most of the time, we just need right people at the right places, right? If you're going to be a sports minister, let's have an athlete. If you're going to be an environmental minister, let's have someone who studied environmental. You know, if you're going to be an economic minister, let's have someone who has a degree or a PhD in economics, right? But having said that, education doesn't necessarily guarantee you a good administration, right? First, you have to love your country and you have to love your people. So that's why I suggested maybe we should have this person, you know, run as a candidate. But I also had other choices. Ujjal Thapa was also a great social worker who was trying to motivate the public, the youth of Nepal. And there's so many people like that who are not in the mainstream because they're still shut out from the main politics. Right?
What would you pick if you got what minister of environment? If you had to pick, just let's pick one.
Me?
Let's pick
As a
one for you.
minister?
Yeah, let's pick one, man. Why the hell not? Let's pick one. What would you pick?
See, I just said.
Pick one. Come on, pick one for fun. There you go. Let's pick one. Ministry of Dirty Booty. We'll give you that.
No, I can't do it because you know what? I'm like I said, I'm not qualified to play any of these minister games or all politics, right? But you know what's right and you know what's wrong, right? You just want the good things, the positive things to get better. And obviously we just have to put our foot where our mouth is, right? So if we follow honesty and truth and with a lot of love, I don't think we can go wrong. I mean, everybody realizes what's good and what's bad, right?
Yeah. If we put you in the Pandora's box, I'm just imagining this, right? We put you in the Pandora's box and then we see what happens. Imagine you go to give a bhasana and then nobody understands anything that you're saying.
See, that's my downfall. That's my downfall, right? I can never get into politics because all my speeches will be I'm sorry, and as a Nepali, it's kind of sad. Tara, मेरो education and मेरो upbringing चाहिँ सबै अङ्ग्रेजीमै गइदियो Nepali school गएन, so this is my first language.
Yeah, English is the first language, you know, and it is what it is. But again, it'll
so think of it. I came here, right? Not reading or writing. I still don't read or write. I know. बोल्दै यसरी generally बोल्ने, but I had not spoken Nepali for a long time. So when I came here, I actually had to learn how to speak Nepali.
I know this story. I've heard this story.
And then now I'm doing movies, right? Scripts.
In Hindi.
In Hindi. That's amazing, you know.
Holy shit. Who offered you the first movie gig?
Of course, it was Namrata.
Yeah.
With Nigam. And it was... what was it called? Tadke.
Tadke.
Yeah.
Shit, man. I was talking to Namrata this morning. Let me tell you the story. I don't know if I can say this or not.
No, don't say anything out there.
All right, I'm just going to say this. Namrata and we were talking in the morning, and then she's like, she sent me a message saying, call. And then I was like, all right, I'll call you. And I called her up, and she's coming.
Oh, good,
she's coming.
Good,
I'm super excited she's coming. And then I think she's coming next week, and she's doing something. She's working on this project that I'm super excited about, and she's on it. You know, she's so passionate about it. Yeah. She's definitely on it.
Oh, she's got her own production company now, you know, which is good. It's great. You have your production. Well, we all have friends now that have production companies that we can actually put out something positive, you know, something worthwhile, and make sure it's good. You know, I mean. You guys are your own bosses now. You don't have anybody to tell you, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that. You know, it's like, this is mine, this is it, that's how it's going to be, right? Which is good. I don't know if you know this, but I've seen Namrata. She's also a stage actress. Yeah. So I've seen some of her plays that she did that was hosted in downtown. It was good.
Namrata, in the case of acting, you know, when you think about it, the theater people, oh my God, I have a huge respect for people who do theater. The amount of work that they put in.
If you really look at the acting scene in Nepal, some of the best actors actually came from the stage theater, right? The commercialism was always there, you know, flying off into the distance and, hey, you know, that kind of boisterous commercial acting was always there, but it was when the theater people came in that the music industry really took off.
The movies industry.
Yeah.
The movie industry really took off. And well, I have huge respect for them because, man, when you look at theater, not just Nepali theater, any theater in general, anywhere you go, anything in state, the amount of practice they got to do. Holy shit. For one play, they gotta do that like hundreds of times so that when the audience is there, you cannot mess up.
Yeah.
You got to remember all your lines.
But you know what also helped was when the theater people actually joined the movie scene, more people started to go to the theaters to actually see
this.
So in a way, it helped out the theater because the theater group was always there. Yeah. No one actually took notice of them until they stepped into the
commercial scene.
Yeah.
I really want to do theater, but I just don't have time for that. Well, again, that's an excuse, but it takes a lot of effort.
It's a whole ball game, man. It's not like you're done. It's finished. You got to come back, do it the next day, and the next day, and the next day after that.
Yeah.
Right. It's pretty hard to, take out, come to let's say complete a scene with all the props around you and everything, and to make it convincing. It's a lot of talent.
Yeah, I respect it. Again, coming back to this, Namrata got you in, right? She got you into Thadke, and then well, you guys filmed in Chitwan, if I am correct. You guys filmed in Chitwan. What was that scene where you got killed? How do you get killed in that movie?
I get shot.
You get shot, right?
I get assassinated.
That happens. So I never forget that. Hey, you had a couple of goons around you. You had tons of things going on in that. You're wearing a suit, if I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one.
Yeah, that was my first movie, and then after I did that, that's when the other offers started coming. Blah, blah.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
Oh, there we go. Thadke.
Thadke.
Yeah, look at that smart, good, handsome, young dude, man.
Pete.
And okay, this is my first movie, right? And here they are, all the good actors.
Go on show everybody.
Arpun was there, Sogat is there, Dang is there,
Nikun. DJ Puche.
Yeah, DJ Puche is there, Namrata is there, and Bipin is there. So my introduction to the movie business was with these stars, right?
Everybody should go and watch this. Oh shit, yeah, that's cool. Everybody needs to go watch this movie. If you haven't watched Thadke, go watch Thadke.
I think people have outdone Thadke.
But
I hear rumors there's going to be Thadke 2.
Yeah. You want to go back? You want to come alive?
I'm already dead, dude.
You want to come alive? You never know.
I was shot, right?
This is Collywood and Bollywood. People come back.
Yeah, just to add that commercialism into it.
You know what's going to be fun? There's this awesome movie called Bahubali. Ever heard about this movie?
No.
It's a South movie.
Right.
Yeah. Anybody who's watching this from Bahubali,
are you
get
plugging
Robin
a
Tamang.
movie?
Yeah, I'm plugging a movie.
Are you plugging
We're talking English, so they will watch this shit. You never know. Man, imagine you'd be the new. There's this character called Kottappa. Right? Kottappa? Is it Kottappa? That's the character, right? He gets killed in Bahubali 1.
Yeah.
Bahubali is
what kind of movie?
Oh man!
Is it a period piece?
Yeah,
or something?
It is a period piece. Man, you gotta play this guy called Kottappa. You're gonna be the new bloody Kottappa, but you gotta fight. Do you fight?
Of course I fight. I'm the bad guy. Of course I fight. I do the kicks, the whole thing.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to do swords? Maybe.
Yeah.
Wasn't that? Oh yeah, this is the guy.
Okay.
He's done.
Right.
He's done, but you never know. Maybe we'd get you in a period piece,
Yeah, that'll be cool, man.
Who knows?
Yeah, I'm just hoping,
Open Bahubali, yeah.
Google
Bahubali.
We'll get stuff like this in Nepal. I know, Nepali production. We'll see.
Images, go to images.
Bollywood's coming out with the Ramayan period, right? With what's his name, the big Bollywood actor.
Ah, man, I saw this. I had seen this. Somebody's doing, right? But check this out. That is Bahubali. That's the actor. This is the kind of scene. That's the one. That's the period piece.
This is like a mythological thing, right? Where they have superpowers and stuff like that.
Slightly. Who's doing the new Ramayan? Find out which actor is doing the new Ramayan. Maybe.
Hrithik. I heard it was Hrithik Roshan.
Hrithik Roshan's doing Ramayan. Do Ramayan 2021.
Yeah.
Holy shit. Hrithik Roshan's gonna be
He hasn't done a movie in
images.
ages.
Images. Go to images. Oh shit, that is true.
Look at that.
Oh!
Now, this is the movie I want to be in, right?
Oh, yeah.
They got some top actors in this movie coming up, so.
Yeah.
And he hasn't done a movie for a while. He's going to play a mythological god, and then he's going to get death threats for the rest of his life.
Oh, yeah.
You know how India's like, I didn't like that character. That was Shiva. He's playing Shiva, man. That's my character.
Oh, man. We should give it to you. Make it turn blue, and then put a third eye, put some snakes.
That's a good production to be on.
Rajesh Samal's coming. Hopefully he's gonna come in next week.
He's a cool dude, man.
You were telling me, right?
Yeah,
you met him. Where did you meet him?
I worked with him on Makota, Rajesh Dai, and also Sunil Dai. And then I've seen him off and on in restaurants, resorts, and stuff. So.
Yeah. There was one. Somebody was telling me you should tell this joke to Rajesh Samal. I'm going to say this joke to Rajesh Samal.
Go on,
I'm definitely
try it out on me.
All right, I'm going to try it on you. All right.
No,
here we
he's
go.
pretty humorous. He's got jokes left and right, man. You never know when he's joking. Right? That's the thing with me. It's like, was that a joke? Should I laugh now?
So imagine this, all right? So Shiva is doing his meditation, right? Lord Shiva doing total meditation, right? 1 month meditation, 30 days meditation, completely in his pose, doing his thing, right? He opens his eyes, all right? He's come back to life, right? He's opened his eyes, and then he's generally when Shiva wakes up, he wants to stand up, right? So he's when Shiva does this, guess what he's looking for?
His girl, right?
Yeah. He's got his Trishul, right?
Yeah.
He's looking for that, right? And then he can't find it. He's like, where did it go? Guess what happened? Rajesh Samal was eating YY. He needed a fork.
Try that on Rajasthan. I'm sure he's going to have good jokes. Anecdotes. He's a very humorous dude, man.
Yeah. When you work with people, what do you look for? Like what kind of traits? Sometimes how does it work?
Well, let me put it this way: if someone hires me and he has a bunch of characters on that set, I expect them to be professional in the sense that when it comes down to the scene, you know what you're doing and stuff. I'm still learning, by the way, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just humbled. I'm amongst all these superstars that I get to work with. I don't look for traits, long as they know what they're doing, and if they're nice to you, it tells me that they're nice people. But not every actor is nice, you know what I mean? Some just keep a distance, right? But that's their preference. There's nothing against that, as long as they don't ruin the whole scene with their attitude or their ego, And there are people like that, but hell, it doesn't faze me. They treat me and respect me. I do the same.
Yeah, that's the best thing to
They
do.
keep me out of the loop. I keep them out of the loop.
That's the best thing. I gotta tell everybody what we did on Pulsar Adventure. So, all right, this is how it works. All right, this is the backstory of Pulsar Adventure. So, whenever I need anything or anybody on Pulsar Adventure, at least the head of productions or people who need something. Imagine you need tea. Imagine I need tea on Pulsar Adventure. You know what I do? I go and tell the tea guy, Robin Dailai chiya chahiyo. Chitto. Bloody, the tea came in like minutes, seconds. But if somebody else needed tea, the tea came in minutes, hours.
Most people use me as Robin Dailai chiya No, tea is my thing, I know. So when I get up, I'm ready to go to work. I need my tea just to wake up. And most people have coffee. I don't do nicotine. Caffeine. Right, so tea's also got caffeine, but I need that little boost to work. I know.
You stopped caffeine because you were on drugs, right? And then you just didn't want more caffeine, or what was it?
Yeah, it's when you have chemicals in your body.
This is back in the day. We're talking about way back in the day.
Yeah, when I was young and ruthless. Yeah, I tried out all kinds of chemicals, and there was one in particular, Coke, which was really addictive, and it took me a while to get off it, but I did, and then I stopped taking caffeine, right? So, and here I am. I don't drink coffee because it just gets in your blood and you get really hyper, right?
Yeah, you get super agitated. I stopped coffee too.
I mean, some of the coffees they have now, double espressos, and it's just like, why why the hell do you do that to your system? You know what I mean?
I was talking to my brother last night, and last evening around 6, I finished. Did we do a podcast yesterday? No, we didn't. We finished it, and I was on my way back home, and I was talking to him. He's been drinking coffee. I quit coffee last year. I quit coffee. I am taking a break from coffee because I drank 7 cups.
That's not good, bro.
Cups at midnight. I was jittery. I was trying to sleep, and I'm like, I can't.
You
sleep.
fill your system with caffeine, and it's hard to come down. Then what you do? Then what most people do is take Valiums to come down, right? And then the next thing next thing you know, they keep doing that for a couple of years. The next thing they know, they're addicted, and it's like they need that caffeine, and then soon after to come down because they're too hyper, they need that Valium, and then it's all chemicals, right?
And then you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I'm talking to my brother, and then he goes like, well, 14 years he's been drinking coffee.
Yeah.
14 years, right? That's a long time.
I know
every
people,
day, 4-5 cups every single
I know
day.
people like that need their caffeine shot.
he wakes up early in the morning. Sometimes he has to teach, right? He's a teacher, so sometimes he has to teach, and then he's working out, and he's doing tons of things now. He's in really good shape of his life, and he cycles, and he does tons of things. And he's like, well, I decided to take a break from coffee. It's been 2 days, and I can't function. He said he could not function completely for 24 hours. And then today he was like, I can't do this. So he drank
his coffee.
No. He didn't drink his coffee. He drank Tokla. He's like, I need something, And tea is like 1/3 of caffeine.
Yeah.
So he was like, all right, let me get something. So he got that, and he was like, all right, I can at least function. I can at least talk.
Tea is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
but anything you put into your system becomes a part of you, right? So just a word of advice to all the young people out there: don't bother with drugs because it doesn't work, right? Get yourself sorted out. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, and just rely on yourself as a human being, and just do the right thing. You don't need all that distraction, right?
Yeah.
Most of it's just distraction, alcohol, drugs, But sometimes it made me who I am, right?
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for everybody. Some never even came out of the gutter.
Yeah. Abhishek was here a couple of days back, and Abhishek from Underside, and you were saying deep into drugs at one point of his life.
I think everybody, this is a cop-out, but I think every creative person has to go through that process if they really want to write songs about what's happening in their life, in reality. It's like a sounding board. Sorry to say that it has to get to that point. But having said that, some people come out of it, later on in their life. As they get older, they understand the life a little better. And they stop all that. And then there are some people who take it to the extreme, and they obviously need help, It's a mental depression kind of thing happening, So, to each his own, right?
Yeah.
But most artists I've known have gone through that phase. Not just artists. I think everybody growing up, when you're a kid, teenager, you go out drinking with your buddies, and you don't tell your parents. You say, I'm staying over at buddy's house. Buddy says, I'm staying over in his house, right? And then you end up sleeping at the temple at the corner. Everybody does that, right?
Yeah.
But some people get stuck, and some people just move on, It's up to the individual.
One thing that Abhishek said was, people who sit in that chair say a lot of things about it. What Abhishek said was, music got me out of it. Music got me out of it. Music really got me out of it, and my friends and people around me got me out of it.
Everybody looks for a creative outlet. I know some people go to the gym. Some people, some people go to the gym, or some people, do music. You just need a distraction where you can be creative and let out that. It's in psychology they call it catharsis, right? Where you can let out your feelings. And some people go to the gym. Some people create, right? And there's a lot of creative people I know that don't even do music, don't even write stuff, But the things that they've experienced in life adds to their charm, adds to their enlightenment,
What's enlightenment to you, though? When you think about it, what do you think should be the 21st century thing? Like, for some reason, we were talking about this earlier when we were having tea downstairs, right? Social media.
Yeah.
It changed everything. People are going all digital. I think internet is the new thing. Internet is how old is internet? Maybe 30 years, 40 years?
Internet is the thing, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Most people don't. People are making so much money off the internet. When just the other day they were serving in a bar or struggling just to get by. People are selling their underwears on internet and making fucking money out of it. It's like, I like the way you look. Can I buy your underwear? It's like, I'll sell it to you. And when you sell like the same underwear fucking 300-400 times, you're rich, right?
You made your money.
It's become so pervasive. It's in every part of our life. And some people have enterprised on that and have gone commercial about their own underwear, toothbrushes, bras, and they're not doing anything against the law. They're not prostitutes or anything. They're just selling stuff online because there's idiots out there.
We're gonna buy that shit.
Yeah, I want to buy her underwear. So that's what's happened with internet. It's even made fake news the mainstream, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many fake news. I mean, you can say anything and get away with it, and people will actually believe you.
People vote on that behalf. We've seen that.
There's no censorship. There's no morality. Anyone can say whatever they want, and they become famous overnight, right?
Back in the day, right? Back in the day, again, I'm an atheist, so back in the day, it would have been somebody who's enlightened, who goes and shares information with people, shares knowledge with people, shares a lot of content with other people, and people start following that person, right? Now it is on the internet. It is the internet, On the internet, you can go and find out anything you want about anybody, any time of the day, night, a second. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. Not only that, it's the whole internet runs on the. They call it the logarithm thing.
Algorithm. Yeah.
Logarithm.
I like that.
Oh, that's you know me.
Yeah, I know you.
So as soon as you watch something bad or something negative, it will start to push that thing to you, right? It never pushes good things that are happening around the world, because the fallibility in humanity is that we are always looking for something else, We're never happy. We're just inquisitive. We're born evil. We have to learn to be good. That's our fallibility.
You think we're born evil?
I think so. We're all greedy. I mean, unless you control your emotions or control yourself with logic, if you solely rely on emotions, we're animals, don't forget, eh?
Yeah.
We're animals.
We're all monkeys.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right? We're just trying to rationalize everything because we're sanctioned beings, so-called. But some people just go ballistic, for no reason. Right?
Think about this. I think about this a lot. Back in the day, right? We're all monkeys at the end of the day, right? The best of the best monkeys evolved.
It depends on which process of evolution you follow, right?
Oh, tell me the process.
Well, I believe that we were genetically created.
All right. Let's get into this.
If you want to go into this,
all right. Let's get into this. Let's get into this. Let's get into this thing. All right. Here we go. For me personally,
I find it hard to see us coming from monkeys.
All right.
I think we were genetically
so?
engineered. We came out as humans, right? And then we've been evolving ever since. I mean,
for me, it's different. For me, shit's gonna get weird. All right, here we go. For me personally, all right. All right, let me ask you this.
Yes.
When you've been to Egypt?
No, I haven't.
No. Have you been to? All right, you've seen the pyramids.
Yeah.
You've seen the pyramids. You've seen all the crazy shit, right?
Yeah.
Mayans, Machu Picchu, in Peru, right? All these places. When we look at it,
Right.
people didn't have equipment to make all that crazy shit. Nobody had that equipment.
No, they didn't. And do you realize this is not just one civilization that is totally disappeared? If you look into the Hindu calendar, there's so many civilizations that came before us that totally disappeared, right?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I know. Dinosaurs got wiped out because of the asteroid. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Who knows what happened, right? So for me personally, what I think is, I don't know how the world was created. That I don't know. That I don't know. That I got zero clue about.
Yeah.
But at least when it comes to beings, or at least when it comes to us right now, I'm sure there are aliens in the world. Or somebody came over from somewhere at some point of our lives and did help us out.
I think it's part of our mythology too, right?
Yeah.
If you look at the Ramayana and you look at the chariots of gods, gods coming down on fiery chariots as written in these religious texts, and the drawings that you see on some of the walls in Inca period, or even in India, some of the ancient drawings, it looks like people in aircrafts, people with helmets on, right? So there's that whole aspect that we haven't even looked at. It's just now with internet access that we're seeing all these, fake news, if you want to call it, if you don't believe in it. But, it puts a little element in there that has some evidence. You know what I mean? So you really have to think about where we actually came from. But having said that, I don't think it really matters where we came from. It's where do you want to go from here, right? You know, you want to live on Earth, you want to preserve Earth, you want to make it a better place to live, is where we should be concerned. It doesn't matter where we came from. We're here, right?
The best of the best, the best species, right? I see it this way. Imagine this: we're all Africans at the end of the day, right? We all started from there. That's what they say. So I believe that too. All the monkeys, the best of the best monkeys, the best of the come back to the monkeys. The best of the best monkeys made it through, right? The most cunning, the most brave, the most powerful made it through. Okay. Again, all right, let's say we evolved, right? The brains evolved, the dicks evolved, everything evolved. and then here we are, right? So think about it. Our ancestors, maybe, let's say our 50th grandfather, all right? The great-great-great-great-great-grandfather must have been a warrior or a fighter or something. That is why we are here. If he was not, you'd be dead.
Yeah.
Think about it this way.
Hunter-gatherers, right?
Always.
You know, the only the best survive. It's nature's way of rooting out the weak from the strong. At the end of the day, we're animals, right? Yeah. So if we learn to hunt and to consume meat or, survive, that's the only way you're going to survive as a species, right? So we have come through an elimination process to the point that we are what we are now, right?
Yeah.
But don't forget, we still have the power to destroy this whole planet if we really wanted to.
Well, true that. One click and we're gone. So let's say till 200 years ago, people were fighting. Nothing's
changed, Sanjay. The people are still fighting.
Imagine this: people are literally fighting with guns and swords and things like that. Right? Now, people are fighting with technology. Right. So what's going to happen in another 100 years or 200 years or 500 years? You know, that's crazy for me when I think about it.
I think humanity, in a sense, has to rely on people. On people, basically, right? On the goodwill of people. And it's all in our hands which direction you want to take humanity, on a positive way or a negative way, right? And that's up to the individual as a choice. And I hope and I pray that we have enough sense that we all want to live and survive and take it into a positive route. Like I said before, people know what's wrong.
Yeah.
People know what's right. They just have to make the right choices. And for that, internet is a distraction because there's a lot of false news out there, right? And if only people would generate good news, that would be something different. But I think at some point we need to have some regulations as to what goes on the internet or not. Okay, maybe a lot of people would get angry now and say, what about freedom of speech? Yeah, freedom of speech is a concept where do you want to abuse or do you want to better life for everybody else, right? These are the choices people are making. We just have to have a civil society where people have the right morality, to make these choices. But it's hard to say what morality is. What's the norm, right? Good education, good family background. Most of the population doesn't live in that category.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's hard for people to worry about the environment when you don't have enough to eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to fill your stomach, let's rob that guy over there. Easy way out, right? We're always looking for the easy way out.
That is the easiest way to go ahead as well. I'm inviting somebody next week. I've got this guy called fantastic guy. His name is Kushal Gurung. Amazing guy. He's like a big brother. Sustainable energy. He's done things in Pokhara. He's done things in Pokhara with biogas and wind energy. That, oh my God, it's phenomenal, right? That is the future. That's where I see that in another 10, 20, 50 years, I want everybody to have an electric car. Get out of the oil business. Most probably the war is going to be for water.
There's no other alternative for us. If we're going to survive and we're going to get over this global warming, we have to start doing something now, right? It's getting late, Sanjay. Big storms are coming, earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, disruption. As soon as the weather gets disrupted, agriculture gets disrupted. Where they were growing tons of food before, now it's dry. It's turning into a desert. So this is something we really have to look at, right? And it's up to each individual, I think, to be aware of this, because it's coming to a point where there's no going back now.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's just going to get worse. If we're going to live like this, it's going to get worse. And let's say COVID. COVID was a prime example of nature fighting back to preserve itself, right?
Yeah.
And it's not going to get any better. And we'll have to live with this, or we do something about it.
Well, I really don't know if it came out from bats or not.
Well, it's a virus, right?
It's a virus.
A virus is when, the animal kingdom gets depressed and they have anxieties. What it does is the body releases viruses that fight the system, right? And it's fighting us, and we're we're the main culprits. Right?
Yeah. Never in my life I imagined. Well, this day, I was watching a documentary on Taiwan. You've been to Taiwan?
No.
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 You haven't been to Taiwan. Taiwan apparently, again, Taiwan's rich. Taiwan's got their shit together, right? There's a lot of things happening with Taiwan when it comes to China and when it comes to tons of things, right?
Yeah.
But
a lot of things
a
happen.
lot of things happening to Taiwan, right? But their healthcare system, I was reading up on their healthcare system, watching a documentary on healthcare system, because Taiwan, I don't know if you know this or not, contained COVID-19. So in 2020,
Until some Nepali guys snuck in there. And now they have the new variant and they don't know what the fuck to do with it.
exactly, that's what happened. I don't know who went in.
This is not going to go away.
No,
Right?
no. I remember telling my mother in 2020. I told my mother before the first lockdown, like, when you look at the pictures, I was watching TV, not TV, I was watching something digitally in February 2020, January or February, I can't remember. Chinese people all lined up, all queued up in Wuhan, going to the hospital, falling down.
Yeah.
They're walking in the street.
And then they were still saying, "Oh, there's no pandemic.
Nothing is happening.
It's just a bad flu." Yeah.
And now, I still remember telling my mother, we were having dinner. I went home to have dinner one day, and I was telling my mother, well, it's coming.
Yeah.
You like it or not.
Yeah.
It's coming for sure. Let's get a few rations out, let's get the rice, let's get the dal, let's get the whatever, noon, chini, pani, and let's get ready. Because this is definitely coming. It's like the earthquake,
People,
right?
But people then just didn't realize how serious it was going to be, because don't forget, previous years we had the SARS problem, right?
Yeah.
It never really hit here.
Yeah.
We just killed it.
SARS.
Sorry.
I've been correcting you forever now.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know,
right?
I know.
We had the SARS thing, and then they killed a bunch of chickens, and then they had the pig thing. They killed a bunch of pigs. Yeah. So it didn't really affect us at that time, right? Though we were aware. So when this came along, COVID came along, people thought it was going to be the same shit, right? But it wasn't,
No.
It just wasn't. Because by that time, it's the same virus. Hey?
Yeah.
It's just mutated to COVID-19 now, right?
Yeah.
So nature's been trying to fight us since then. And if we don't get vaccinated, it's just going to turn ugly, and it's going to be horrible for everybody.
It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
There's no doubt on that. And I was telling my mother that it's going to come. You like it or not, it's going to be here. And here it is.
Yeah.
Here it is. We've all faced it. The weirdest thing for me when I look at it, right? It's everywhere. It's everywhere on the planet. And I look back at where it started from, and people are partying there. It's back to normal now. So I don't know what it is. I don't know how.
This thing, my outlook on this is, it's never going to be over until everybody is immune or has an immune system that's built up by vaccines, right?
Yeah.
You can't have the rich countries all vaccinated and then the poor countries not, because there's going to be certain migration happening, right, to look for a better job, look for a better life. And until it totally gets eradicated, it's not going to go anywhere. And we better do this fast, because the new variant keeps coming out every time, people get vaccinated. It gets stronger and stronger, right? So that's the only alternative I see. As far as Nepal goes, I don't know when that's going to happen. So we're in for the long haul, right? And
For sure.
Yeah, and we just opened up everything now, right, without vaccinating most of our population. And it's an inevitable that we'll get the third wave, right?
No, it's definitely coming, right? So how it works is, I did reporting for it last year, right? So how it works is, from my knowledge, from all the doctors that I've talked with, the more it's out there, imagine the virus is out there and it transmits from one person to the other. The more it transmits, the more it mutates. The more it mutates, maybe it might get crazy, or maybe it might not get crazy. But right now, it's just getting crazier. It's just transmitting faster and faster and faster and faster and faster and faster. So everybody's getting it. Coming back to the story of Taiwan. Taiwan contained it for 2020. I was reading up on it. It's so fascinating. Apparently, Taiwan has this national card, national health card, something like this, right? It's all digital. So imagine you're from Taiwan, you get a card, right? The card has all the details about your health. How do you feel? What problems you got, what underlying conditions you got. So they already did this back in the day.
Right.
So since they had all the data of all their people, like how is their health, so whoever were, let's say somebody had comorbidities like diabetes or like cancer or something like that, they controlled them. They took care of them first.
Right.
And then imagine somebody who flew in. Let's say you come in from, let's say you're in Nepal and then you want to go to Taiwan, right? You're a Taiwanese.
Yeah.
You fly in, you have to quarantine.
Yeah.
So they did a mandatory quarantine. So that's how they contained it for 2020. They contained it. Taiwan back to normal. They're partying, things are happening. It's all well and good. And then this new Delta plus whatever variant goes in, and then some. So there's a limousine driver. That's what they traced it back to a limousine driver from the airport. So he picked up somebody, and then it's a spread. It started spreading, right?
Yeah.
And now Taiwan's like having trouble coping with it, right? Mm-hmm. But for us here, we've already had the Delta Plus.
We have no idea what's happening.
Yeah, exactly. We don't know.
We don't care. Oh, man. Yeah. The irony being that, there's nothing we can actually do as a public unless we get vaccinated, right? So it's up to the individual to be aware, to wash your hands, to not expose yourself into crowds and stuff, and to basically live with paranoia.
For how long?
Until we get vaccinated, dude.
And I was like, there's an article that I was going through on CNN, and then there's like there are a lot of people who don't know how to get back on society because they've been stuck for a year.
Yeah.
So imagine you're stuck for a year. You really haven't met a lot of people. You haven't met your parents, your grandparents. You really haven't met a lot of people.
Right.
And now you gotta. It was about UK. So UK was closed for a whole year, right? Even the health minister got kicked out. Health secretary got kicked out because I don't know if you know this or not. He got kicked out because he was kissing his girlfriend on the in his office.
Yeah, but he was also like traveling around when it was supposed to be, restricted, right?
Yeah, he was doing a lot of things. And now, when you think about it, people don't know how to get back on society. Imagine watching a movie. Now, whenever I watch a movie, I'm like, why aren't these people wearing masks?
They will start the next bunch of movies that come out. I think people will be starting to wear masks. Right?
Imagine if you got to do a movie where you got to be like, "Hey," but wearing a mask.
You know what? That means you don't have to do any live sound, man. You can just dub whatever the hell you want afterwards. Right? Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. Like I said, the only solution I see is the vaccine. So we have to do something about it, or the government has to do something about it. It's no point in beating up the government all the time. I think the private sector should take a hold of this situation and get these vaccines organized,
They can't. So there's even a thing about it. So it's called G2G, called government to government. Right. So right now they're doing government to government conversations with other governments.
Right.
They haven't. So other governments are not doing it too. So other governments around the world haven't made it private too. So since others haven't done it, we really can't do it because they can't.
So basically, we're screwed. Right?
Yeah. That's for sure. I'm hopeful. I'm slightly hopeful. See, like you said, right? There's no point yelling at the government, right? All the time, all the time. It's about when you point a finger at somebody, The remaining fingers are pointed
the
at you
problem
too.
with Nepal is we're always looking to bash someone, right?
All the time.
Always. Even if you're doing good work, they're out there doing. They turn around, bash somebody else up, right? It's like if you're doing good work, forget it. You don't have to badmouth anybody. Just do it, right? Don't have to claim credit for it all the time, right? Too many people claiming credit on too many donations that didn't come from them, but actually came from overseas, right?
Yeah.
So, do the good work.
So true.
Yeah, do the good work. Don't bash anybody else. It's not going to achieve anything.
Yeah.
And then all I see or hear nowadays is the government this, the government that. You know what the government's like. We knew for a very long time. Just go on with your life and try to make it by your own means, if possible, right?
Yeah.
And like I said, if the corporation and private sector can't come into this, like you said, then it's going to be tough for us.
Not yet.
Not yet. But hopefully, if they did, we'll get some few incentives, and people might start moving their ass, right?
For me personally, since I've been following this since the day it all started in China, and for me personally, we don't have to go far. We don't have to go far. We don't have to go far-fetched crazy.
We got the biggest vaccine producers on either side.
Exactly.
And here we are with no vaccine. It's incredible.
It's bloody incredible. And I've been telling everybody, we don't need to go beg and borrow and steal from anybody. We got India and goddamn China. India on one side.
Yeah, but there's always a motive attached to the vaccine.
Always.
So there's always politics to the vaccine scheme, right? Which I think is happening not just here, but everywhere around the world. You take that vaccine, you gotta we gotta toe the rope.
You gotta play with their tunes, the tunes that I'm like, balance it out.
Yeah.
Balance this
like
shit,
People just gave vaccine from the kindness of their heart. We would not have this problem, right?
Yeah.
But everybody wants their influence on smaller countries, on underdeveloped countries. They want their interest followed. I mean, it's just politics. No?
Yeah. Well, I'm sure by this time we're definitely getting flagged for this video somewhere or the other because we've talked about. Whoops! What did you do?
My microphone.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Just look a little bit. No. It's there's a no. Don't worry. We got it. We got it for you. What have you been doing down there?
My legs are long.
Yeah. So. No, for me personally, we really don't have to go super far with this. We just work it out with the two, the two big ones, dragon and the lions, and then just figure it out.
Yeah, the little guy in the middle, play both sides.
Champion man यति हो नि त
अनि अलिक खेल्नु जानु पर्यो नि त both sides खेल्नु जानु पर्यो नि त हामीले जान्दैन.
We're gonna make you the Ministry of Dirty Booty.
No,
Dirty Booty.
No ministry. I'll get you vaccines, man. I'll bring vaccines into this country.
Yeah.
Not the kind you need.
Yeah. Robin vaccine. There you go.
Vaccine.
Oh man, that'd be so cool,
Yeah, not possible. Dude.
We got to figure that out. I was reading up on a couple of things internationally. There are tons of countries that have legalized weed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to get this or not. I was looking at the US, right? Back in the day, I was reading up on this, and then even watching this movie called Blow with Johnny Depp. Have you ever watched this movie with Johnny Depp? They used to smuggle in marijuana from Mexico, and then do, again, people went to jail for this. A lot of things happened. Now the US figured it out.
Yeah.
They started legalizing it and taxing this.
But back in the 90s, they had the anti-drug campaign, right?
Yeah, Ronald Reagan was president.
And they came down so hard on these drug dealers, people who were addicts, that most of black people of America were arrested and sent to, the prisons, right? And it was some of them was for the most minor things, and they had the balls to take their possessions, their house, their cars, and everything, right? And then now look at it.
You can just walk in and buy some weed.
Yeah. Not in every state. In some of the states.
Majority of the states now.
Majority of the states.
I remember I was filming in 2014. I was filming in the US. And then, At that time, I think 2014 or I can't remember when, but Colorado had legalized it. People were smoking in the park.
Yeah.
I could smell it everywhere. I'm like, imagine 10 years before, you'd be in jail for this, right?
Oh wow.
But again, I'm just trying to understand that would be a great business for a lot of countries too.
Especially in Nepal.
Yeah.
I know. Nepal, we could make lots of money. People are advocating for hemp clothing and marijuana products, but हाम्रो governmentले अहिलेसम्म चाहिँ गरेको छैन के पनि. It's still illegal.
Back in the day, remember, there's a picture of Basantapur that I'll never pull up. Picture of Basantapur where they sell Basantapur in the 60s or something. When was it?
With the hippies, with their
With the hippies.
Signboards.
Oh yeah, holy shit! There you go.
Yeah.
Gaza र चरिस यहाँ पाइन्छ. Hashish and marijuana sold here, first floor, awesome toll.
Yeah.
Look at that. Go down. Look at the hippies right there. This is such an amazing picture.
Oh, that was a whole different lifestyle back then. I know.
Yeah.
Most of these people used to come here just for that.
Go up. Yeah. When was this? When was this, Robin? No, not this picture. When was this time?
Probably 70s, late 60s,
Yeah.
something like that. Right?
The time when Charles Sobhraj was here.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's still here. Poor guy's still here.
Oh man!
My God.
that guy is. There's a documentary where he really talks
Saw it.
about it. You saw it?
Well, I saw the Discovery one, I think.
Oh
Yeah.
man, he is. He's wearing his glasses and he's so calm, so relaxed.
Well,
I don't know
he's a
what he's
character.
on. I don't know what he's on.
I have no idea what's but he's a character.
That's the bikini. What do you call it? Bikini killer? Oh, yeah, bikini killer. And then there's a not Netflix, Amazon. I think came out with a new.
He's a serial killer, right?
Yeah,
He's out there.
that's the real Gunda.
No, that's not a good name. He's a serial killer. He's a killer, man.
You've been a killer. Have you played a? What kind
I'm
of
a
gundas
killer.
are you? What
I'm
kind
a
of gundas?
killer in every way of life. I kill people. I rape people.
Oh yeah.
I've done it all, dude. There's nothing I haven't done.
Holy
Right?
shit!
Yeah.
They've made you do everything, haven't they?
Yeah.
Haven't they?
I'm done.
Yeah, but when I think about it, right, the real deal. I heard a story. I don't know how true this is, right? I heard a story about Showrads, which I don't know. I wish I could ask him, but I don't know where he's.
Yeah, you should interview him, dude. That'd be
If
great.
he's still alive, I'd love to have him over. I'm sure he's going to ask me for money, but I don't know. I'd love to have him over. There's a story. He's in jail, right? And then, I don't know how true this is. It's like a meme story or some shit like that. He's in jail. And then he's in jail in India, and then he's got out of jail. I don't know if you heard this or not.
He's like an escape artist.
Yeah.
He gave him a laddu
Laddu.
laced with something, and they all passed out, and he just walked out. Of
Walked
there.
out of the main gate. Imagine that shit.
Hey, they didn't know he actually was in prison there. Yeah.
Oh, man. And imagine that guy, and we caught him, and he's here. And he's
after
somewhere inside.
After that, he came to Nepal and he lived here. He lived here, man. Committed all his murders around this area.
He got married in jail. Have you heard this?
Yeah.
He got married.
Yeah, to the lawyer's
Daughter.
Now, that's a fast one. I know. I think they're still married. I know.
Maybe.
बहिनीले त आमा mass murderer बिहा गरेछ यार. That
I know.
I don't know nothing about him, to tell you the truth.
For me, no, these are the stories. And then I watched that document. I watched that documentary. Freaked me out. I couldn't sleep that night. I'm not kidding with you. Freaked me out, right?
Yeah.
And then I watched the, what do you call it? The Amazon Prime. I think it was Amazon Prime. Prime.
Listen,
Yeah.
you know what I think? I think there's a lot more mass murderers in our own culture and that we have not even investigated into.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more rapists in our culture that we have not even caught or investigated it to the extent, right?
Yeah.
Just got caught.
Yeah.
You know, before that, he was just walking around. I know. He was just walking around.
Yeah.
I know. In Tamil, apparently. I know. Pokhara,
Somebody
Tamil.
somebody
Going back
saw
to-
him. Somebody saw him,
Yeah,
and then
going
somebody
to
recognized him.
Bangkok, coming back. But there's a lot happening within our own culture, I think, that is not even investigated about, you know. I mean, so many kids go missing, so many people go missing in our society that we don't even have the manpower to investigate. Yeah.
I'm not a fan of capital punishment. I'm not a fan of capital punishment.
Right.
I'm not a big fan of capital punishment. But with these rapists,
Right.
these psychos that's out there, when they catch them,
Right.
no, they gotta give them the hardest of the hardest penalties of the land. The hardest
course.
ones. The hardest ones. Especially with these guys who sell women. Who
Human trafficking.
traffic people. And who poach animals. With these sons of bitches definitely need to get the hardest penalties of the land. Sometimes I don't know if that happens or not all the time.
This is what I call civil society, right? You know what's wrong, what's right. You know what to do, what not to do, right? Why we haven't done it already is I'm lost for words, right? I don't know. Maybe the process takes too long, or maybe they just can't be bothered. When you're hungry, you have other issues to take care of. I mean, if we really want to talk about issues in Nepal, we have A to Z. And it's not going to get done in our lifetime.
Yeah.
I mean, we can go on and on about what's wrong with this country, but we're actually doing something about it. We'll take a big movement and a big effort, and someone has the right mindset, someone who has the right love for this country. So let's hope and wait, right? So,
What's leadership for you, though? How do you take that?
someone who speaks the truth, follows the path of truth. Someone who's honest, but it's rare to get honesty in any politicians, whether it be in Nepal or be in the United States. That's why they call it politics. Yeah.
Yeah, when I think about it, I personally, I personally go ahead and think about so many different things, and with the internet age and with people having communication, easily having access to talk about things,
Yeah.
that is way important.
Yeah.
That is the freedom that we have now. You can openly talk about things that you do not like.
Right.
There's a new app. I don't know if you know about this or not. Somebody was asking me about this a couple of days back. There's a new app called Clubhouse. Ever heard about this?
Yes. I keep getting adverts in my Facebook. Right?
Yeah.
What is that all about?
So Clubhouse is an app.
Is it like a social gathering of intellectuals?
No. It's not Twitter.
Yeah, I keep getting advertisements.
There's a new app called Clubhouse where imagine you, me, I don't know, random people. Imagine you and me were talking, and then hundreds of people can listen to it right away. It's just conversation. There's no face behind it. So imagine it's like hundreds of people sitting together and just having a conversation.
Perfect place for fake news.
Best place for fake news. Somebody was telling me this, that there were like 10, 20 guys talking about feminism. There was about feminism. I was like, okay, wow, all right, that shit happens there too.
Yeah.
But for me personally, there needs to be more apps like this. With TikTok, people can express themselves. I love it when people can just express themselves.
Like I said,
Yeah.
okay, it's fine having apps like this, but there has to be an agenda for it, right? Like I said, fake news.
Yeah.
It could be pushed and it could spread like wildfire. Yeah. So how do you do that? I mean, how do you make sure that it's going positively rather than in a negative way or hatred or, promoting racism or what have you, right? So I don't know why people haven't done it sooner, put some kind of, censorship. I don't like to call it that, but I'll call it rules and regulation on what you can put up and what you can't put up, But it's going to be hard to do that.
It's going to be really tough to do that.
Because it's out there, it's internet,
Yeah,
right? It belongs to the whole world, right?
For me personally, there's freedom. You cannot point fingers at somebody.
Yeah.
Don't point fingers at somebody. Don't go full blown crazy on somebody. If you don't like somebody, you just can't go out and really go full blown nuts on that person.
Yeah.
But if you have your opinion, at least now in the 21st century, at least people of Nepal, people of the world, can express themselves. That's what I really like. You know what I mean? Like, you can actually express themselves.
Don't you get tired of people expressing the wrong attitude and the wrong things sometimes? Where they're talking on racial issues and they have this different outlook on what's really happening in the world. And that's what's the scary part is to me, right? I mean, having said that, And then you look at internet in China where you cannot have anything.
Anything, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say, right?
So what happens to the freedom of speech if you do that to the Western internet? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So only the good get to do their thing, and the bad things are not shown. So it's a very ethical kind of conversation, and to actually police the internet. I know that's because that's what it is. It's called policing the internet.
Couple of days back, one of my teammates sent me a picture of. I don't know if I can pull this up or not. One of my teammates sent me a picture of. There's a channel on Facebook. It's been around for I don't even know how long. It's called Men's Room Reloaded. I don't know if you've heard about this or not. It's in Nepal. It's a very famous. How long has MRR been around? Do you know? Talk. You have a microphone. You can talk. These guys have been around for a while. I don't know.
Not for I think
maybe a few years.
10 11 years.
10, 11 years.
All
right, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
This is what they wrote, right? This is what they wrote. They put up a picture of my podcast, and then they put up a picture of me, and this is what they wrote. How many of us watch his podcasts? Yesto effort र राम्रो podcast नेपालीले बनाउन गाह्रै हुन्छ. बट किन यति थोरै सब्सक्राइबर्स होला नेपालीहरूलाई बक्चुदी मात्र मनपर्ने हो कि भनेर somebody posted it, right? I don't know who posted it.
So you know what you got to do?
What?
You bring somebody here with great big titties. and you become really nasty to them, right? And just lay into her and just degrade her and everything. Next thing you know, you'll have millions of viewers.
Negativity.
Yeah.
Negativity sells. And for me, when I started this, I just wanted to sit down with people I love, people I care about, and just have a conversation.
Yeah.
Because 50 years from now, I might not be around, but this thing is going to be up on the internet and people are just going to sit and watch and have fun.
Right.
That's the whole point of doing this. And thank you very much, MRR, the guy who posted it, and all the boys on MRR. Thank you very much for
Don't worry,
talking about it.
As time goes by, you will get the viewers. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here.
I'm doing it for that one person, that one guy. When we go up on, we've talked about this before. When we go up on stage, we sing for ourselves, and you sing for yourself.
Yeah.
I said sing, but sorry, my bad. I don't sing.
I'm in my own little world when I'm on stage. It's a whole different character. It's a character that when I'm on stage, it's this character that just takes over, right? And I do my thing, and then I get off, and I don't care if there's 5 people in the audience or 26,000. Fortunately, I played for 26,000, and I've also played with 5 people.
Same thing. I've hosted events where there are like 5-10 people, and I've done events where it was a full stadium.
It's not about that. It's about the passion that you bring. So if those 5 people are very satisfied with what you did, it makes it worthwhile, right?
Yeah.
And if 28,000 people are satisfied what I did and they got off on it, it's fine with me. But first of all, I play for myself. And then if that translates and they can pick up the vibrations or the message across that I'm trying to get, so much the better for me. So I give it my all. Doesn't matter if there's 5 or 28,000 people.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter. And I perform for that one person.
Yeah.
That one person who's there, who's like so excited that you're there. That's what matters at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
Even with the TV show that we do together, we don't know how many people are going to watch it, but it's the fun. It's the fun. It's the excitement. And plus, looking at the contestants is all.
Well, we've been doing it for 3 for you, 4 for me. It's just gotten better and bigger, and I like it. I know. Thank you for Bajaj for doing what they do, and for putting it together.
Yeah.
And we've had a blast for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
And hopefully it'll continue, but due to COVID, everything's on hold. Everything.
Yeah.
So
everything.
We'll see.
Hopefully we're gonna.
The only thing happening during the COVID is your podcast. So take total advantage of it. Get all the best people.
People are sending me messages from. Guess which country people are sending me messages from now? Just do a random guess.
America,
No.
Australia.
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 You know why?
Yeah.
Because there's lockdown going on.
You know why? Because Nepali Phuket again. Some guy with the variant reached there rather total lockdown. Sorry, nothing against Australia.
Man, I love you, Robin. I love you, and
Thank you, brother.
I'm so happy that you came over. And
My pleasure. I was supposed to be the first one.
you were supposed to be the first
but
one.
that doesn't matter. But I've seen your program on. It's good. I like it.
I'm glad, and hopefully we get to do tons of things. We're planning. Okay, I'm gonna tell this to everybody. We're planning a show, a food show with Robin Tamang. Robin Tamang. What do you want to do? You want to do food and travel, and you want to do some crazy shit?
Listen. This is your stepping stone, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna start from the podcast,
Yeah.
and I know what's gonna happen. It's gonna turn into a full-on creative media house with the whole production into programs, you might even have your own channel, you know what I mean?
Who knows?
So I'm hoping on that so I can come and just do my programs. Right? I'll say, hi, I want to go to Goa, I want to go on a bike and
Done.
film me, and we'll just do it in such a way where it's just cool, relaxing, funny,
Yeah.
but also a little bit of drama. But we won't create anything. It'll just be all natural.
That's
right?
be right.
And there's so many things you can do. You can do that. You can do talk shows. You can do series. You can make your own programs. Shit, man. It's wide open for you, dude. That's why I came on your talk show.
Thank you very much for coming to the podcast, and I'll again, we got another good solid, I don't know, 50 years together. So it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, not that much. Yeah.
I love you, Robin. Thanks
I
for
love you
being
too.
here.
Thank you for inviting me. I had a blast.
All right, everybody. Thank you very much for watching, and subscribe. There you go.
Subscribe.
If you love what we are doing, make sure that you subscribe and turn on notifications.
On air.
This episode is brought to you by Pulsar.